tell us?
Firstly, I'd say when we arrived, our first place where we went to live was Colla Inabrai. It was on the cotton farm, which is the second largest cotton farm in the world, and that was our first home. I got involved as a founder member of the Ladies Social Club, and we would organize games nights, afternoon teas, and we had a very successful fashion show for the community. I was also a member of the Country Women's Association. But my pride and joy was my voluntary work with the occupational therapy program. This is where I worked with children who had learning difficulties and coordination problems. What I remember most were two little boys. I'll stand up. What I remember most, I worked with two little boys. One was a 4-year-old. He was frail, round-shouldered, bow-legged, and very tearful. And the second boy was about 8 years old, and he could barely stand on one foot, let alone hop. So basically, I worked with these two for over 12 months. And in that time, they made remarkable progress. One day, as I was driving down the street, I saw these two boys sprinting, and they were neck and neck. As I got closer, I had a look at the boys, and I recognized them. They were brothers. But the older boy was the 8-year-old that could hardly balance on one foot. And in that moment, I saw the significance of the program. Not only that it improved their skills, but what it did for them, it impacted on their lives. And more so because the teachers were very skeptical of the program, because they didn't believe that it worked in its simplicity. For my work, I was a nominee for Australian of the Year, and I received an award, Clusters Award, from
What you didn't say, though, Faith, was that in the daytime you were working in the cotton gin and in hot, really terrible conditions.
Yep. Basically, what happened, imagine me, I was a city girl. I was into fashion and design. And the first job in Colla Inabrai found me, out in the elements, 40-degree temperatures, and what was I doing? I was raking up cotton buds in the module yard, in the cotton gin. And then, of course, fortunately, that only lasted 2 days. So my next job was in the cotton gin, on this mechanized plant, in 12-hour shifts, and I was bagging compressed cotton bales. But what this experience taught me, that nothing was too hard, and nothing was unachievable. So that led me to be able to, move on with what I had to do in my, settling as a migrant. I also had a dream. I had a dream for a university education. And this came in a very unexpected way when I moved to Newcastle and I began to work in human services. Our branch had the highest workers' compensation claims within the organization, which was throughout New South Wales. And my role was to process workers' compensation documentation, subpoenas, and during that time I realized I didn't know enough about the law, and I wanted to learn more. As I was working full-time, I decided that I then applied to the university to study for my master's degree in occupational health and safety. So of course that was, I did that distance learning. Today I consult, I'm an educator, I'm a trainer in work health and safety, and I support businesses and organizations, in terms of managing their safety effectively. I'm also in business, I'm also part of the Hunter Business Chamber. I'm on the committee for the Business Development Forum. We have breakfast every month. I'm also on the committee for the Women in Building Association. They're affiliated to the Master Builders. And a lot of other networking groups that I do. But what I'm also proud of is my family. My family has also achieved and contributed to Australia. My husband, within the first year of us arriving, my husband was actually received an award, which was Pride of Workmanship through the Rotary Club. In that year as well, he became site manager for the cotton gin. And over the time when he worked at the cotton gin, he modified the plant and improved productivity. He was well known in the region, in Collarenebri. When he moved to Newcastle, he began working on ship repairs. And some of the vessels he worked on were the naval vessels. I don't know if you heard of the Kanimbla,
Yeah.
the Menora. He also worked on the Endeavour. My children also did very well. My children chose careers in engineering. Two of our children work for the federal government, and this younger boy has actually served in the Gulf and East Timor. And our daughter actually works for Lucas Heights, the only reactor within Australia. I think Australia, migration has been a challenge, but Australia has given us stability. Stability to plan, certainty to be able to meet our goals and more, and it has given us freedom of choice. So we looked at it and we said, well, if failure wasn't an option, then success was the only option for us. And what you have to do is just persevere, persevere, persevere. Thank you.